Guerschon, when we talked to you for the first time after you signed, you talked about how all you really wanted was just an opportunity to prove that you could hang at this level. I guess now that the season's over with, how much has it meant to you to get that opportunity and to make the most of it in the way that you have?
He has been pretty good, pretty fun. I had a lot of fun this season. Of course, we had a lot of ups and downs, and obviously we don't have the end of the season that we was hoping to have at the beginning of the year. But other than that, I had a lot of fun being in here. I enjoy every day being around the teammates, the coach, everybody around us. But for me personally, it was a tough year. I learned a lot. I was just trying to get better every day. But my note was to go over there to play hard as I can, learn, and try to get better.
What were some of the biggest things that you learned, or where do you feel like you progressed or improved the most over the course of the season?
I would say pretty much everything. When I was going out there, I was just trying to shoot better, just try to attack more, just reading the game. I was also trying to read what the other guys on the team was doing, like at the beginning of the season, playing with Tyrese, after a couple of the game, I kind of like understand how he like to play. So I was just trying to adjust to make sure I'm in the right spot, especially when they double team. So, I was just reading off the other players and just try to get better.
Christian, have you given any thought to what your future might hold, whether it be here or elsewhere?
I mean, not really, we just end the last game of the season, so I didn't really thought about it. But from coming in here after being out of the league for 5 years, I'm so grateful, for the Sixers to be able to give me that chance. And for sure, we will have a lot of talk this offseason.
What did you kind of learn, I guess, from guys like Tyrese, just from a leadership standpoint, and the steps that he was able to take this year?
Yeah, it was great for us. When we had a lot of players that was injured, and in his intensity, to come into the game, to never give up. He always play to the last minute, no matter what's going on, and he has been pretty huge for us this season. And just him being positive, showing up every day, make us realize that we have a chance to do something. And then those couple of games that we won, that's been pretty good for us, even mentally.
You talked about the Sixers organization. What did you think about the fan base? Your season with them.
It was pretty fun. I've received nothing but love from the 76ers fans, so it's been pretty amazing for me. They keep pushing me. I receive a lot of messages, but just coming to the games, a lot of fans are here and saying great things about me. So keep push me to keep doing right. I was thinking like I know I'm doing something right. So I'm just keep on doing it.
For you as a player and just knowing the landscape of the NBA, do you feel better equipped this summer to make those decisions about what's next for you than maybe you did last year coming into this?
I would say maybe. The thing is, I'm going to be a free agent. I think it's going to be like one of my first time in my career to be able to be in that situation. So I'm pretty excited. And at the same time, I'm going to take my time to really see what the options are going to be. What's the playing time also is going to be. This is like one of the main concerns, but I'm really not putting in any pressure into myself. I'm just going there to really trying to have some fun and really look the best solution for me.
What was it like at the beginning of the year? Like you're new, you're trying to learn everything, and then by the end of the year, everyone else is way newer than you. What was that like?
It was definitely different. It was some time when I was coming to the game, I was thinking like I was gonna play maybe 5 minutes, then I was playing 30. And it was some games when I was like, maybe I'm gonna play it, and I didn't play a lot. So it was really like ups and downs. It was really different, depending on the team that we was playing. But I always felt like the coaching staff was trusting me. So every time I step on the court, whether it's for 10 minutes, for 20 or 30, I just told myself that I was gonna give everything.
You kind of gambled on yourself by, taking the buyout to come back. At what point is the season, like early on, where you knew, like, okay, I made the right decision? Like, was there a game or something like that you had and you said, okay, this is where I need to be?
I feel like I never really knew. And even though a lot of people say great things about me, getting signed this summer, for me, I always been like, until the contract is not here and I didn't sign, I always feel like I can't really like enjoy or celebrate. Of course, I know like the season has been pretty good for me, but also for us. But you know, I'm really like septic. Let's say like when I'm going there thinking like I'm trying to get a contract, but at the same time, I never like thought like, oh, okay, I'm good. You know, I always told myself like, next game you need to prove again. Like you know, I was just trying to, and that keeps me going. You know, so I keep working out and try to be the best, and every game I try to do more.
What does the off season look like for you as far as just, are there certain aspects of your game you want to work on,
Yeah.
sort of your training routine, just what do you envision the summer looking like?
I will definitely have a lot of time to work on what I need to work on. It's the first time in my career I think that I'm going to be on vacation early like that, so I have time to spend time with my family, but at the same time to adjust to get better in my game. I also have I also have the national teams, so you know I'm going to take this time to work on everything that needs to be done and relax at the same time.
Guerschon, you mentioned
Last question.
playing time being important to you. Probably was when you made the decision, obviously, to come to the Sixers. If you had to put your top 3 things as a free agent, what do you think you would say are your most important?
That's a good question. I think the other teams will need to answer that for me. But yeah, no, you know me, I just go over there. I really not think about like I don't know what I'm gonna do before to step out there. You know, I just play, read what the game brings to me. If somebody like not stepping out, I'm gonna shoot the threes. If he's stepping, I'm gonna drive, and after that, I'm just trying to make the right read. You know, but you know, I'm a positive player. Play with a lot of energy, and I'm enjoying. Happy to be back. It's been a pretty good season for us, and I think I've made the comeback that I wanted to.
Justin, when you look back on your rookie season, I guess like how would you just kind of assess how it all went?
It was a lot of ups and downs. Our team, we got the injury bug this year, so you know, I was able to get an opportunity early. So I just made the best out of my opportunity, and it all worked out for me.
I guess are there like any type of goals or anything you have like for your off season?
My goal is just to change my body, get a consistent jump shot, and just get it. I don't know. That's really about it. The 2 biggest things I'm probably gonna focus on.
Guys like Tyrese and Paul have really called you one of the bright spots of the year. What does it mean to hear guys accomplished like that say that about you?
It means a lot, especially coming from Tyrese. You know, he went to Kentucky. Especially Paul too. Paul's one of the guys I tried to model my game up growing up. So for those 2 guys to say that means a lot. Early in the year, PG was telling me that like in certain points of the game, he was telling coach to put me in. So that meant a lot, and it like boosted my confidence when I was out there with those guys.
When you talk about change your body, I'm assuming you want to bulk up.
Yeah.
Is there a target weight you want to get to? Right?
I'm at like 210 right now, probably like 215. You know, where I can feel like I'll be good right there.
You had your struggles at Kentucky, and then now you come this year playing for the Philadelphia 76ers at home. Paul George, a guy who you said that you know you looked up into the league, constantly in your ear helping you to get better. Can you just kind of reflect on, you know, just what a long way you've come in such a short amount of time?
Just trying to stay positive, really, and just believing in God. I feel like that's the biggest thing for me. You know, in Kentucky, I was really negative with myself, so just coming into this year was just trying to stay positive and just learn from the vets.
You talked about that too early in the season, just how you kind of got your confidence back. Was there a moment, or is it just you, as simple as you having just changed your mindset of being more positive?
Changed my mindset. Just the guys believing in me, Joel, Reese, Paul George, like just those guys believing in me and telling me to just go out there and play my game, helped my confidence a lot.
That idea of just being more positive, when you're around guys like Tyrese and Jared, how much easier is it for you to be positive?
It's really easy. Just off of feeding off Jared's energy, and Jared is like, I've never seen him mad. I've known Jared for a couple years now, and I've never seen him down on himself. So just being around those guys helps my energy. Even if I have low energy, it helps me get my energy up.
As rookies, you and Jared and
Say it again?
As rookies, you, Jared, and Adem have all had opportunities to kind of show what you can do. I wonder if there's a sense of identity for you guys as a group and, you know, the progress that you guys have made this year.
I feel like we made a lot of progress, really. Like we all got the opportunity early. I don't
I don't know. I feel like I feel like we got a lot more work to do to be able to help the team next year. But I feel like we were able to make a lot out of the time that we had this year.
Are you guys able to feed off each other at all in terms of, you're kind of going through this process together?
Yeah. We kind of clicked early with summer league and being around Rico Hines runs and stuff. So that kind of helped us out.
Adem, I guess now like your first season in the NBA is over. I guess when you accomplish that, how would you assess your rookie year?
Honestly, it was a lot of learning process. Obviously there was ups and downs. Personally, also with the team, I had to adapt and learn quick. How to help the team and help myself. So I would describe it as a learning process for myself, and also learning to build patience. So.
Adem, it seemed like you and Jared grew close pretty quickly. I'm just curious sort of how you would describe that relationship now and how valuable it was for you to come into this team with someone who you seem to have such a good relationship with.
Yeah, me and Jared, we spent a lot of time together, even off the court. We get chat with together. But Jared is a easy guy to like bond with, on and off the court. But I think we have our game kind of matches pretty well. Where he passes out the pick and roll. I try to get out the pick and roll quick. So I think our game just kind of matches, and they just kind of help us build like a chemistry on the floor too.
What are the kind of, I guess, goals that you have for yourself heading into, I guess, this year, like your first NBA offseason? Any type of goals you got heading into your second year?
I've been saying this all year long. My biggest goal is consistency, regardless of what the situation is on the team. When everyone is back or everyone is out, to be able to do what I do every night, bring the same energy, do what I do, run the floor. To be able to do that regardless of the situation, I think that's my biggest goal.
But then
Yeah,
as the
what makes
season
that-
went on and you started playing more and more, you were seeing more regular minutes, you became one of the most prolific shot blockers in the league, being one of the leaders in shot block in the league. Were you aware of that during that stretch? And, is that a point of pride for you to be amongst those leaders?
I wasn't aware or I wasn't paying attention to that. I know I do that pretty well. I did that back in college. I did that back in high school. I just go out there and play to my strengths. I've been doing that for a long time. So I just go out there and do it again. So.
But then you mentioned consistency. Nick always talks about you being consistent. What's the hardest part of, so you're in the starting lineup here, but your role with Joel is here as a backup. What's the hardest part of being consistent?
I don't think there's a hard part to it. Joe always gonna take a break and goes to the bench, and when I'm in the game, I just gotta bring my energy in. I don't think me coming off the bench changed anything for me. When I beginning of the year, I was coming off the bench. I was third big on the roster. And when I get in the game, I try my best to bring the same energy I bring in every single day. So Joel being back doesn't change anything for me. I'm trying to be consistent off the bench.
That consistency, how did you then plan to apply that to your just off-season workouts and sort of how you approach this part of the calendar year?
It's big because this is my first time going through the NBA offseason, So there's going to be a lot of learning, a lot of questions, asking people how to attack it. I've talked to a couple guys on the team on how to go about the offseason. The most important thing is to get some rest first, then after that you get right straight to business and work on your game and work on your weakness, also work on your strengths and work on what the team needs you to do. So I'm more going to be asking questions on what to do. So
I imagine you'll spend part of it in LA. So
Yeah, probably spend some of it back in California because I went to college there and went to high school there. Still have a lot of family there, and hopefully maybe I can go back home for a little bit. So.
Then, are you considering playing for Turkish national team if they call you for Eurobasket?
Yeah, it's a huge consideration for me. I've played for the national team for almost every age group since U16 to U20. So the Turkish national team is is really important to me. And also, I'm from Nigeria. Nigeria national team is important to me. But
Do you have a
the-
preference which one?
I don't think there's any preference. I represent both countries equally. But there's going to be a decision that have to be made during the summer.
Jeff, I guess as you enter the off season, are there any sort of specific parts of your game that you're interested in working on or honing in on?
Yeah, I think just staying consistent with my 3-point shot. I think that's grown throughout this season. The goal was to, shoot at least 35-40% from the three. So I think I achieved that this year. So that's one of my major things. And then just take care of my body, try to stay healthy, get in the weight room a lot. It's going to be a physical game. It's always physical. So just honing on my body, take care of that.
Being with this organization for the full season this time, just what are the biggest things that you learned just throughout the season?
Yeah, throughout the ups and downs, we always stayed together like a big family. Obviously, it wasn't the season that we intended on having, but, we still stayed together. We still had confidence in ourselves. We never got down on one another. We still, communicated as a brotherhood, as a family. So I appreciate that, guys. We're always in the gym, still working out no matter what. Trying to, get better at that game, get better at that craft. So that's a culture that, you love to be a part of.
What's your motivation? And the reason why I'm asking you that is because, you've shown that you can play in the league, right? And it just seems like, each year, it just seems like there's some obstacles in front of you but you keep overcoming. And, some people may say, you know what, I'm tired of this match and I'm going to give it up, whatever. But it just seems like you keep starting over and keep going through the obstacles. And at the end, you keep overcoming.
Yeah, I think it's just the type of person I am, where I'm from, my family. I'm I'm a hard worker. I'm a go-getter no matter what. It's always going to be obstacles that come in front of you. It's always going to be things that you don't like. Things are never going to always go your way. But, just the type of person I am, how I'm built for, different things, different obstacles. It's always going to be challenges on the court, off the court. I think I handled that to the best of my ability this year and, overcame a lot. A lot of things, out of my control. I couldn't really handle that. But, I let my game speak for itself. And, I'm grateful, to play the game of basketball at the highest level possible.
You have a lot of experience on two-way contracts and I guess up and down between G League and here, and then also, not being able to play consistently over the last couple weeks. What do you make of that contract structure? Do you wish there were ways they could change it, or is it?
Yeah, I wish, you could be on the two-way and play all 82 games, especially if you're healthy, Obviously, that's not how it is. You wish for that, but at the end of the day, you have to make best of the situation, make best of the contract. Whenever you get the opportunity to play, you got to be ready for that. Sometimes it might not be when you want it to happen, but like I say, stay ready. That's why I always keep the same routine, no matter what. Same workout regimen, same meal every game day, because you never know. And like I said, whenever your name is called, just be ready to perform.
Just during this period where you've had a couple times where you set your career high in scoring, but then had the stretches where you couldn't play because of the weird quirk, just what do you feel like you showed or just proved to, as far as just, what that kind of this period of the season has shown as far as who you are as a player?
Yeah, I think it was definitely a challenge for me, just having a stretch of great basketball, playing at the highest level, playing probably the best stretch that I had, and then knowing that your games are limited, so you don't really have that, that rhythm that you can just stay in throughout the rest of the year. So definitely a challenge for me. I think I handled that, to the best of my abilities. I give credit to the player development staff. They really helped me, stay engaged, stay game ready, game conditioning, no matter what, and just knowing that, some days you might be playing 20, 25 minutes, some days you're just not going to play at all. You can't suit up just based on how the contract is structured. Definitely a challenge, definitely something that I feel like I overcame definitely towards the end of the year. And, I just tried to make the best of it.
In the time that you've spent under Nick, you've really kind of developed as a cerebral player, really kind of being that extension to coach on the court. How do you think developing in that way helped you round out the rest of your game?
Yeah, I think it helped with my leadership, communication, being vocal on and off the court. You know, being a point guard in this league, you know, you have to talk no matter what. You have to know every position on the court. You know, guys are going to come to you, ask questions. Just being under Nurse for a couple of years now, I just kind of know the system a lot better. I know the plays, the sets, how he wants his team to be, you know, ran or organized. So I definitely have like that little boost, I guess you could say. So it definitely helps me. But I just think, you know, throughout this year and even last year, just my communication, just being vocal, just being that leader on the court, being that point guard, definitely has grown, definitely has helped.